I'm Ninja Greg, and you're watching The Ninja Greg Show. You know, one of my favorite Christmas movies is Elf. Now, I'll be honest with you, this one I saw kind of under a misapprehension of who the star was. I remember seeing the poster in movie theaters when I was a kid and thought the name said Will Friedle, who I knew from Boy Meets World as Eric, the older brother, and I thought he was gonna. I thought he was hilarious as Eric, and so when I thought, "Oh, cool, Will Friedle's going to be in a movie," so me and my younger brother Michael convinced our dad to take us to see this movie, and it wasn't Will Friedle, it was Will Ferrell, and I'm still really glad I saw it. This movie is absolutely hilarious. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. Now, that's not my review. I'm not reviewing Elf exactly. I'm reviewing a sort of spin off of it, if you will. Elf, Buddy's Musical Adventure. So, this is kind of a much shorter animated version of basically the same story. If you don't know, here's the synopsis real fast. Buddy is a human that grew up and was raised in the world of the North Pole, but through most of his life, he thinks he's an elf when in actuality he's not. He finds out who his human parents are, finds out that his human mother died a long time ago, back when he was just a baby, and his father is a businessman who had lost sight of what Christmas was really about and got himself put on the naughty list. So he goes to New York to try and bring a little Christmas cheer back into his dad's life, and actually ends up saving Christmas throughout the story because Christmas spirit is what makes Santas fly, and but but he believes that the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. So by use of song to spread Christmas joy around, the Santa's sleigh gets its power back and it flies off like it always has back when Christmas spirit was in abundance in the old days. It's a really good, heartwarming story, and it's really dang funny. There's a lot of really great comedic moments that'll just make you laugh out loud. And of course, it's filled to the brim with Christmas. I can't recommend this film enough. But what about the one I'm actually reviewing? Buddy's Musical Adventure. Well, like I said, it's an animated take on the whole thing, but it's a lot shorter, about 44 minutes, and this probably about, I forget the exact running time, but maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So they really condensed the story a lot. I mean, and they gotta take some liberties, work with it a little bit to kind of have some of the same plot points, but kind of try and keep it in a shorter time frame. And it's really lighthearted, and it's got a lot of the same story. I mean, if you've seen this film, you'll recognize the story with no problem. And the acting's really good. I mean, you've got Jim Parsons voicing Buddy, for most of you might know as Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. You got the ever talented Mark Hamill as his father, Walter, and a couple other voices you might recognize. And even Santa Claus in Elf has his role reprised by Ed Asner in this movie. And the songs, they're not terrible, they're just a little too infrequent, which I think is more or less a result of its very short runtime. So there's like a song like every couple of minutes, or so yeah. It's not like a Disney musical where there's a song, a lot of scene, and then another song. No, there's quite a few songs in this thing, and they happen frequently. I do kind of like the animation because it's kind of a cute little nod to something they had in the original movie. The whole thing is done in this kind of Rankin Bass, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer style kind of animation, which they had a little bit of in this version. I mean, but he's got some Arctic animal friends, a polar bear, a walrus, and a puffin, and even kind of a snowman that looks very similar to the snowman from the Rankin Bass Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So that's a cute little nod to both what that movie did and, of course, the Rankin Bass movies in general. And I can't really point out anything bad, but it's really cartoony and silly. So I kind of recommend both versions depending on what you're in the mood for or who the audience is. If you want something a little bit sillier, a little bit goofier, a little bit more lighthearted than the movie it's based on, go for the musical adventure. It's not terrible. It's actually quite a cute little movie. But if you want something a little bit more real, with a little bit longer running time, a lot more to play around with because of the longer running time, watch this movie. Can't recommend it enough. I recommend it each and every time without hesitation. It's hilarious. It's a perfect Christmas movie because Christmas is peppered throughout this thing. And it's got all that heartwarming, gushy stuff that makes Christmas great. So, yeah, that's Elf Buddy's Musical Adventure. What did you think? Did you see it? Did you not see it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and share it. I mean, this is the season of sharing after all. So why not? Anyways, I'm Ninja Greg. You've been watching The Ninja Greg Show. I'll see you next time.